Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome back to Temple of Shalom. There's a sense of excitement in the sanctuary today as we celebrate two B'nai Mitzvah this weekend, and we also have our Kolhakavod award winners tonight. And I know each of the well-deserving recipients will speak beautifully upon receiving their award in just a little bit. We're really happy that you're here. The temple is excited. This week, a big group is leaving on Wednesday this week for Israel. Next Friday, a group led by Rabbi Pomerantz, Cantor Siegel, and myself will be leading Shabbat services in Tel Aviv. So we're very excited for our trip and the 52 people joining us. And we will be offering it next year as well. So stay tuned. Meanwhile, as Rabbi Pomerantz always says at this point in before Shabbat, to take a deep breath in, relax, and welcome in the Shabbat. And so on behalf of everyone here at Temple Shalom, I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary. I'll feed you the words. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you, sanctuary for you. Hine matov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Hine matov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim, shevet achim, gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to Kabbalat Shabbat at Temple Shalom. I'm Rabbi Joanne Leubin. I'm joined tonight by Rabbi Gail Pomerantz, Rabbi Robert Davis, and Cantor Lisa Siegel. As we begin a new book of Torah this weekend, we celebrate many new beginnings. For instance, the beginning of hurricane season. When I was living in Israel and the rainy season was flipped, every Sukkot, like clockwork, it would rain, as if on command with our prayers. And now that it's officially June, the skies couldn't wait even one weekend to unleash. So thank you to all of those who made it here, and so many of you did, despite the dreary forecast, and we welcome everyone joining us as well from online. Tonight we celebrate the beginning of a new chapter for Miles Weisenfeld and Caleb Sloan as they become B'nai Mitzvah this Shabbat. We also celebrate the beginning of a new board and new leadership for our beautiful community. We pray that all these beginnings are blessed with strength and sweetness. We begin our Shabbat prayers this evening with the kindling of the Shabbat candles and Kiddush, and I invite up the B'nai Mitzvah and their families for these honors. We begin on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotov v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As our brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which we live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen.
Let's get the dads. Dads could come together here.
Continue on page 5 with Kiddush.
Okay, and so you're going to do this and this together, okay?
No dad jokes. Okay.
Oh,
We were given a pass.
right.
And there
was
was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day.
The heavens
The heavens and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Beautiful. What a job. Okay, you guys are done. Now, two boys, come on in. We're going to start this one.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei beri hagafet.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsha be'ahav uvratzon hinchiotanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila limikrae kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu
בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. Who needs a cantor when you have these two?
Amen. L'chaim. While they're enjoying a l'chaim with their families and many more celebrations of sweetness to come, I invite you to turn to page 8 and read with me this beginning prayer. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Amen. We continue with Lecha Doti, our prayer to welcome Shabbat, beginning on page 20. We will pray together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, and on the 9th verse, we will rise and face the entrance.
Yalla la 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 lecha doji, yalla la 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 likrat kala, yalla la 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 penei Shabbat nekabe, yalla la 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 lecha doji, yalla la 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 likrat kala. Yalla la 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 penei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litkila yalla la 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 lecha doji yalla la 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 likrat kala yalla la 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 penei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lecho v'nelcha ki mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh v'machshava techila yalla la 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 lecha doji yalla la 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 likrat kala yalla la 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 penei Shabbat nekavela hitoreri kiva orech kumi uri shir daveri kevod Adonai alayech nigla yalla la 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 lecha doji yalla la 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 likrat kala yalla la 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 penei Shabbat nekavela Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'bzola toch emuneh am segula moi yalla la 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 lecha doji yalla la 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 likrat kala yalla la 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 penei Shabbat nekabe yalla la 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 lecha doji yalla la 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 likrat kala yalla la 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 penei Shabbat nekabela.
Continue with our call call to prayer on page 28.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
Please be seated. We continue on page 30 in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishaneh itim umachalif et hazmanim umisader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem berakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech vechoshech mipnei or.
Umahavir yom umehevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
The Shema, we continue with the Shema on page 34. You may do so seated or standing as you wish.
We're going to call up our B'nai Mitzvah to lead us in the Shema.
Miles and Caleb, come on up.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
1 second. Oops, I don't have those notes now. Here we go with Ve'ahavta. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvchol nafshecha uvchol meodecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'elem asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levanecha v'shinanta levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shitecha bebeitecha ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, ונשארת לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, ויהיו קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות אתם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
Mazel tov, Miles and Caleb. This wonderful moment in your life and the lives of your families. We're really excited for you. Page 40, we celebrate freedom with Micha Mocha.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 mi khamocha va elim adonai bi khamocha nehtar Malchutcha ra'u vanecha Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam Ze Elianu ve'yameru Ze Elianu ve'yameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la la.
We lift our souls with the central part of our prayer service, HaTefillah. It begins on page 46 and continues through page 62. And tonight we're going to be praying those prayers silently, or the prayers of your own hearts. Please rise. As you conclude your prayers, please be seated.
יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי, יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון לבי לפניך, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you, oh my rock, my rock, and my redeemer.
Take a few moments now to pray a prayer of healing, a Misha Barak, for friends and family, for those of you who might be here as well, those who are recovering from surgery, illness, and those of us who are recovering as well from sadness. And if there's a name you'd like added to our prayers today, I'll ask you to please rise and mention those names out loud so that everyone in the congregation might be able to pray on behalf of the people for whom you're praying. Thank you. 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 May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are in need of healing. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say together, Amen. I'll ask you now to turn to page 278 in the prayer book. It's our tradition to count the days between Passover and Shavuot, the counting of the Omer, Sfirat HaOmer, this period of time between Passover and when we receive the Torah, which begins tomorrow night with the celebration of Shavuot. And tonight is the 49th day of the counting of the Omer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer hayom Tisha ve'arba'im yom shehem shiva shavuot la'omer. Today is 49 days, which are 7 weeks of the Omer.
turn now to page 282, Rise and Face Jerusalem for the chanting of Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula lioseh breshit, shelo asanu kigoyeh haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vigor aleinu kechol hamolam, va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nehemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
You may be seated. On this Gun Violence Prevention Awareness Day, as we begin reading from the book of Numbers, we think about the devastating numbers gun violence has wrought. The 231 mass shootings that have taken place in the United States so far this year, 20 shootings in which at least 4 people were killed in the past 9 days. 4 in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Wednesday, 10 at an outdoor party in South Carolina on Monday. 19 students and 2 teachers in Uvalde, Texas last week. 10 at a grocery store in Buffalo the week before. The list goes on and on. The poet Padraig Otuomo wrote, "When I was a child, I learned to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But these days I've been counting lives, so I count 1 life, 1 life, 1 life, 1 life, 1 life, because each time is the first time that life has been taken. Tonight we remember some of those lives, each an entire universe. First, we remember those victims of gun violence in Buffalo on May 14th. We are still in the Shloshim of mourning. Celestine Cheney, Roberta Drury, Andre McNell, Catherine Massey, Margus Morrison, Hayward Patterson, Aaron Salter, Geraldine Talley, Pearl Young, Ruth Whitfield, and those who died in Uvalde, Texas, McKenna Lee Elrod, Miranda Mathis, Jackie Cesaris, Navea Bravo, Tess Marie Mata, Rogelio Torres, Jace Carmelo Luvuenas, Annabelle Guadalupe Rodriguez, Jalea Nicole Silguero, Alethea Ramirez, Ameri Joe Garza, Jose Manuel Flores Jr., Eliana Eli, Amia Garcia, Uzziah Garcia, Xavier Lopez, Irma Garcia, Eva Morales, Leila Salazar, Alexandria Lexi Rubio, Alejandra A. Torres, Meti Yulena Rodriguez, and those who died in Tulsa, Oklahoma yesterday, Preston Phillips, Stephanie Hewson, Amanda Glenn, William Love. 1 life, 1 life, 1 life. And we remember those beloved members of our congregation who have died in the last 30 days, whose families remain in the Shloshim of their mourning. We think of Estelle Reiter, Shirley Hurwitz, Lou Mayer, Michael Munchik, Howard Broad, Robert Isser, Molly Mervis, and Jada Grant. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. And we think of all those who have died at this season in years past, whose yortzites are observed on this Shabbat, and whose names have lovingly been inscribed in our alcove of remembrance. We remember James Abramson, Ellis Lewis Amder, Sarah Arkin, Joseph Arkin, Kayla Beichman, Hyman Bilzen, Archie Bachner, Frida Aronoff Cohen, Leah Kornblum, Matilda Ephraim, Gustav Ehrenfeld, Josef Eidelman, Diana Flatow, Bertha Gratz, Lillian Groskin, Harriet Hamill, Judy Hertzberg, Arthur Hertzberg, Alexander Fred Jonas, Ruth Merritt Kasnett, Nathan Knoll, Nathan Latucci, Betty Ann Mass, Rhoda Morris, Robert Newman, Belle Radin, Marilee Russin, Howard Charlin, Zelda Shevlin, Samuel Simon, Rita Stein, Anna Stein, Martin Steiner, Sarah Lee Taub, Beatrice Van Wy, Anthony Van Wy, and Evelyn Weil. And all those other yortzites that are observed on this Shabbat. We think of Samuel Adler, Camille Berg, Janice Bloom, Harry Cohen, Juana Crespo, Stanley Dubrow, Blanche Duke, Victor Fonseca, Morton Glick, Tracy Hope Glickler, Catalina Guerca de Modahovich, Herbert Hoberman, Joseph Karsh, Franny Kramer, Rose Levine, Wilhelmina A. Lux, Doris Nathan, Berta Niven, Albert Rosenfeld, Maria Sanchez, Rita Shore, Ethel Schwartz, Anna Serbin, Samuel Shinensky, David Siegel, Faye Sukonik, John Marcus Sussman, Amy Ann Ty, and Jerry Turner. I invite our congregation to turn to page 294 as we rise together. If there's anybody here who is in a period of mourning or remembering somebody special tonight, a yortzite, and you'd like to share that name with the congregation, please do. Thank you. We think of the 6 million people who perished in the Holocaust, Jews who perished in the Holocaust. We think of the over 24,000 Israeli soldiers who died so that we would have a Jewish homeland. And we remember our American soldiers who have died preserving our liberties. And we take them all into our hearts with our own as together we recite these words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlik malchutei, B'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala u'vizman kari v'yamru Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Damiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. O say shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the author of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved here and everywhere. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated, except for Stephen Pardo, who is, as his last act of temple president, going to present our Kolhakavod Award. A Kolhakavod Award is named in memory of Rabbi Harry Jolt, and it is given to folks who have made an extraordinary contribution to Temple Beth Shalom in some meaningful and profound way. And just coincidentally, we have 2 recipients from last year's Kolhakavod Awards with us here tonight, Dr. Kenneth Ratson and Chris Sloan. So welcome back to see the award given to the next very deserving people.
Shabbat Shalom. So, as your president this past year, I have the honor of recognizing this year's Kolhakavod Award recipients. We have 3 amazing award recipients this year with a common theme of limitless passion for Jewish leadership. In particular, they have all been strong advocates for creating a safer and more secure community. And on this day of gun prevention that we all are so focused on with everything going on in the world, we at Temple Beth Shalom are the beneficiaries of these incredible community leaders. Our first honoree is Myra Spindell. Myra is a member of our Board of Trustees for several years and serves as one of our vice presidents. And she has served on many of our important committees over the years: the Honors Committee, the Nominating Committee, Strategic Planning Committee, Living Wage Committee, several search committees. She has also served as our Mitzvah Day co-chair. And as a clinical psychologist, it's hard to believe she has time for that, Myra has taken her professional career and engaged in community service for several local nonprofits, including the Jewish Community Services. She is also a full-time mom to her 3 kids, Molly, Leah, and Liv, and wife to her hubby, Bart, who is also a member of our Board of Trustees. For the past several years, Myra has chaired the Social Justice Network with Rachel Unger, who is another one of our award recipients tonight. And Myra has been an amazing community leader advocating for issues of food injustice, racial justice, and gun violence prevention. More recently, Myra has been an active leader in our Florida State Advocacy Group through the Religious Action Center for Reform Judaism, and served on the RAC Florida outreach team as a liaison to our congregation, Temple Beth Shalom. Today, the world is broken. Senseless attacks and killings in the U.S. is very sadly continuing on a daily occurrence and daily basis. The Jewish community is on high alert, and Myra has been one of the leading advocates for ensuring that we have a voice, that our political leaders are listening, and that social justice and making our community more safe and secure is made the highest priority. So today, we celebrate Myra as a community leader in social justice with this Kolhakavod Award. So Myra, if you will come up here, please. And I'm going to read what this beautiful award says. Temple Beth Shalom, with loving gratitude and appreciation, proudly presents the Rabbi Harry Jolt Huckavot Award to Myra Spindell for her leading the way toward justice and tikkun olam at Temple Beth Shalom.
Thank you so much, Steve. Shabbat Shalom. I am so honored and grateful to be here tonight to receive this award. I'm in the wonderful company of Rachel and Larry, whose dedication and thoughtful work for our community have inspired me over the years. Bart and I, along with our daughters, Molly, Leah, and Liv, first joined TBS 11 years ago. Immediately, we jumped into Temple life, captaining our first Mitzvah Day project that year. And as we came away with that feel-good glow, we were hooked. I wanted to be more deeply involved, and I felt privileged to volunteer alongside many of you over these past years, and privileged to witness the dedication of the clergy, staff, and my fellow board members in making TBS a warm and inclusive space for Jewish learning, spirituality, intellectual discourse, community involvement, and building friendships. TBS welcomed us, and we were so fortunate to find a place to nurture new and deep relationships. Molly and Leah got involved in Beshti and worked here as interns. Leah participated in the Israel Fellowship. Liv in the Social Justice Fellowship. Bart and I have served on the TBS board for the last several years, and we have all taken turns chanting Torah on the high holidays. These experiences have elevated our sense of what it means to be Jewish and to be part of a Jewish community. In discussing coming tonight, Liv said, "I love going to temple." And Molly and Leah both said how much they miss TBS and were excited to be here and see everyone tonight. I reflected on how TBS has become an extension of our home, and for that I am so grateful. I want to especially thank Rabbi Pomerantz. It was through your vision of the Social Justice Network that I came to understand the importance of not only helping others through direct service, but also working to change the institutions which lead to community problems in the first place. It is through your example, as well as the examples of Rabbi Davis, Rabbi Leuben, Cantor Siegel, Rabbi Baer, and Rachel Lillenbaum, that I have learned the meaning and importance of tikkun olam, or improving our world. Rachel Unger, my SJN co-chair, it has been a privilege and pleasure to work alongside you for the betterment of our community. Your energy and empathy have helped to keep me steadfast and committed to our justice work. I want to thank Stephen Pardo, the clergy and staff, and the Board of Trustees for considering me for this award. My fellow board members, your thoughtful work and dedication of time is a constant inspiration to me. Congratulations and welcome to the new board members being installed tonight. Thank you to my family for your constant patience and support of my work here. I also want to thank all of the lay leaders who I've worked with over these last years and who consistently and without hesitation answer the call to join in phone banking, direct service, caucusing, having those difficult conversations, and lifting our voices at rallies. Of course, the work does not end. As was mentioned a few times tonight, today is Wear Orange Day, or National Gun Violence Awareness Day, when we honor those affected by gun violence and bring much needed attention and focus on how to prevent the seemingly endless, meaningless loss of life and trauma resulting from gun violence. I am grateful to you, my TBS family, for giving me the space, support, and trust to continue the meaningful work that social justice demands. Thank you.
Our second Kolhakavod Award recipient is Rachel Unger. Rachel comes from a family of community and Temple Beth Shalom leaders. A congregant virtually from birth, Rachel has a deep educational foundation at Temple Beth Shalom. After graduating from Ransom Everglades and getting a BS and MS in education from the University of Miami, Rachel's passion for education and educating others was on a rocket trajectory as she taught at two of our local elementary schools. Temple was always in her line of sight as Rachel created and implemented curriculum for our Temple Foundation School and taught pre-K at the Temple for several years. And Rachel will be returning this year to teach our 5th grade at TBSIS Elementary School in the fall. Rachel loves teaching, and she loves Temple Beth Shalom. Rachel sets the bar high when it comes to community service and making a difference for others. As a member of the Board of Trustees and now is one of our new vice presidents. Rachel also co-chairs our Social Justice Network with Myra and has been a leader advocating with tremendous energy and drive. A devoted mother to Ellie and Max and wife to Mike, Rachel has been honored by the Dade County Schools, the Miami Beach Chamber, the NCJW this year, among other community and Jewish organizations. And today, Temple Beth Shalom honors Rachel with the Kolhakavod Award. So Rachel, come on up. So today, we honor you with the award for being a passionate voice and leader for justice at Temple Beth Shalom.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. Stephen and the Board of Trustees, I cannot thank you enough for this recognition. It is very full circle to be standing on this bema in front of you all, being honored for the work that I do for the congregation and the community. It all started when I answered a call, and on the other end of the line was Rabbi Pomerantz. She asked me to be the co-chair of the Social Justice Network, and she changed the trajectory of my adult life. I have grown up here at Temple Beth Shalom, and it is unbelievable to me that the child that ran through these halls as a Hebrew school student is now standing here being honored with the Kolhakavod Award. Rabbi Pomerantz, thank you for the trust you had in me to be a leader in our community. Rabbi Davis, thank you for your support as I joined and worked with PACT. Cantor Siegel, thank you for always having songs of justice and meaning in our services. Rachel Lillenbaum, I say your last name to distinguish between the two of us. Thank you so much for your unrelenting passion for justice work. Myra, where are you? Oh, there you are. You are the yin to my yang, and I feel that we complement each other perfectly. We have worked together in harmony, and our energies balance into a powerhouse of justice warriors. I am lucky to call you my friend. Now I'm going to slide into my why. Why do I do this work? Why do I spend countless hours working to make the world a smidgen better than I found it? Anyone who knows me knows that I can never say no when asked to participate in a call to action. I will always find the time, no matter what. Alice Walker stated, "Activism is the rent I pay for living on this planet." I feel this to my core. Every issue that I advocate for and work towards changing or supporting, I have done it because I was raised to fight for what is right and just. Thank you to my parents, Mom and Dad. You always made sure that when teachers repetitively described me as feisty and not in a positive way, that you shifted my mindset and thinking and encouraged me to know that it was who I was. Mike, thank you for always being there and marching right alongside me for every cause I stand for. Max and Ellie, from the early days, you have been my two very best partners. We have done everything from marches for causes that we believe in to beach cleanups, and now our greatest work, food rescues. You have listened to countless justice jams and can recall many facts at a moment's notice without batting an eye. My favorite memories are having you seated right beside me as I ran SJN meetings in the boardroom. Thank you both for working with me, but more importantly, for having a mindset of justice and service. You are my motivation. I know you will both change the world, and I am here to do it with you. This award is officially named the Rabbi Harry Jolt Kolhakavod Award. Wow. Rabbi Jolt was a mensch, and I have vivid memories of standing at the end of Friday night services and listening to a Rabbi Jolt joke. These were infamous for being long stories that ended with a punchline that meant more than laughter. Rabbi Jolt's weekly jokes are a thread that is woven through my childhood memories and experiences. Recently, our news cycle has become intense. Each of us has a choice: to listen and become numb, or to jump up and say, "Hineni, here I am. What can I do?" Our tradition encourages us to work towards justice. We have hard work to do to make the world a better place. We have many fights that need to be fought, and I am here for it all. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdov, justice, justice, shall you pursue. Thank you.
With our last recipient, you will see the common theme coming full circle. Our last Kolhakavod Award recipient is Larry Hurwitz. Larry was raised in a family that was grounded in Jewish values, social justice, Zionism, and community service. While engaged in the private practice of cardiology for 40 years, he was also active in both Jewish and general community. He served on the board of directors at Temple Rodef Shalom in Pittsburgh and on the board of the Greater Pittsburgh General Federation. Larry traveled to the Soviet Union all the way back in 1986 to help establish a medical network for Refusnik community. Eventually, Larry and his wife, Kathy, discovered Temple Beth Shalom in 2004. Since moving here permanently in 2014, Larry has been fully engaged in multiple spheres of TBS life. As a member of the Social Justice Committee, Larry co-chaired the Gun Violence Prevention Task Force. A few years ago, Larry wanted to make an even greater impact on our Temple Beth Shalom community. Larry saw the rise in anti-Semitism, the increased attacks on places of worship. Jewish communities were one of the most vulnerable, and Larry took a leadership position on our security committee and ultimately became its co-chair with Jose Ben Ray, a longtime leader on security issues. Larry then took the step of enhancing our temple security with an upgraded security plan developed with law enforcement guidance and local Jewish community input, implemented an enhanced security training for our entire temple staff, obtained thousands of dollars in government grants for security enhancements that have already been implemented on our TBS campus, and then taken our school safety protocols for our children to an even higher level. Just last week, Larry participated in a national panel on guns in our house of worship. All of this was of Larry's own initiative, because Larry just doesn't get involved in something that he is passionate about. He dives right in and he makes it happen. Larry, we are extremely, extremely lucky to have you as a part of our temple community, and lucky that you have made it your highest priority to keep our temple safe and secure for all of us. So I am honored to award you with the Kolhakavod Award. So this award, the Kolhakavod Award for Larry Hurwitz, for his tireless efforts to keep our community safe and secure. Congratulations.
Thank you, Stephen. Shabbat Shalom. I'm very honored to receive the Rabbi Harry Jolt Kolhakavod Award, and I want to thank Rabbi Davis for providing me the background on the life and legacy of Rabbi Jolt. And Stephen, you led us through 2 unprecedented years, and your presidency is going to be remarked and is remarkable for your creativity and resilience. And Yashakoach, we thank you. For me to be here tonight, I have many to thank for their friendship, encouragement, and their help. When Kathy and I first came to Temple Beth Shalom as non-residents, but as complete strangers, about 20 years ago, we walked in on a Shabbat morning. We were greeted by Alice Miller with a big smile and a genuinely warm welcome, a welcome that included telling us exactly where to sit. And we haven't changed seats in 20 years. But we knew that this was our new home, our new spiritual home. Rabbi Pomerantz, your commitment to social justice and action resonated with me. And I thank you for encouraging me to form the Gun Violence Prevention Task Force. You've seen many of us tonight wear orange. Myra, Rachel. This is the beginning of Wear Orange Weekend to make a statement about gun violence. And I would encourage all of you over the weekend, if you have the opportunity, wear orange. You will be making a statement where you stand on the issue of gun violence in our community. I would welcome that. So, Alan Pecor. Alan has been a dear friend and a mentor for me since we've been members here. Alan, your thoughtfulness and your kindness and your wisdom have been part of the leadership of Temple Beth Shalom for years, and I thank you for encouraging me to do more. Martha Singerman, you have helped develop a spiritual home here at Temple, and I thank you for encouraging me to become a facilitator in the Wise Aging program. Jose Benray, you also have been a force on the board and in the life of Temple Beth Shalom for years. And I thank you for taking a chance on me to become your co-chair of the Security Committee. And Jeff Graff, I don't know where Jeff is, but Jeff, you make all of us look good. And thank you for your encouragement, your friendship, your dedication, and your hard work. To Rachel and to Myra, you two have been the ideal role models of service to others, and I'm proud and humbled to be able to share this moment with both of you. The Wise Aging program that I facilitated addressed a fundamental question. How can we age with equanimity and resilience? The complex answer to this question includes finding community, relationships, purpose, all attributes that I have found here at Temple Beth Shalom. So my final thank you is to the entire TBS family. I thank you for what you are, a serious Jewish community dedicated to Torah, study, social justice and action, Israel, fun, openness and diversity, and spirituality, a welcoming and safe home for all. Thank you.
Wow, I'm a little verklempt. That was so beautiful. All of those awards so well deserved. And but wait, there's more. We still have installation. And as you've already heard, as we gather tonight for this momentous leadership transition, we also transition sections of the Torah. We conclude our book of Leviticus and we open the book of Numbers. And in Hebrew, this fourth book of Torah is known as Bamidbar, which means in the wilderness. Quite often, in the past few years, it's felt like we are in the wilderness. The vast empty space of uncertainty, the uncomfortable challenges of desert living, and the liminal space between the past and the future. This is the leadership role that Stephen Pardo stepped into 2 years ago. Totally unprecedented and completely unexpected. But like the true Israelite leaders who preceded him, Stephen rolled up his sleeves, grabbed some water and a hat, and helped us to navigate our way through the desert of COVID. He never faltered, never complained about his rotten luck at becoming president at just that moment. And despite the desert's heat, he never broke a sweat. Instead, he led the way along with his faithful board of leaders so that we might stand here tonight with him stepping down as president and passing to Vanessa a healthy, stable, and growing congregation. So on behalf of the clergy, the staff, and the board, I want to say thank you to Stephen Pardo for being an unwavering partner to Jeff and myself for the past 2+ years. We are so grateful, and we're not letting you go. Go as president, but stay on the board. And now I want to ask our current board members and our new board members, Debbie Herschel, Amy Hanlon, Rachel Samick, and Maxwell Weisenfeld, to all please rise where you are sitting. And all the other board members to please rise, because I have some words for you. So normally you would come up to the bima, but because of COVID, we're keeping everybody where they are. The wise Hasidic master, Levi Yitzchak Berdichev, had a wonderful teaching about this week's Torah portion. This section of the Torah is called Numbers because of the census that takes place right at the beginning of the portion. And the total number of Israelites came to 603,550, which our tradition says is the exact number of letters in the Torah. If even one of those letters is missing, the Torah is considered pasul, which means it's unfit for reading. It's unfit for use. And the same is true for the Jewish people, says Rabbi Yitzchak. The loss of even one Jew prevents Israel from fulfilling its divine mission. And so tonight we adapt the Rebbe's teaching to apply to our board members. Each one of you, and those of you who I know are streaming this service, has a critical role to play, a critical leadership role to play on the board. You bring your talents, your relationships, your wisdom, and your guidance to our congregation. Your active leadership is essential for us to thrive into the future. So let's give them all a round of applause. And now I'd like to invite everyone to be seated but our executive board. So our executive board members, please rise. Is Myra the only one here? And Vanessa, you're a member of the executive board as well. Michael. And those of you who are watching, because these remarks are directed to you, our officers. In this week's portion, we also learn about the special role that the Levites play in the community. They are essential assistants to the Kohanim, the ancient priests. They are the fixers, repairing any number of broken objects. They are the gatekeepers, and they are the official schleppers of the tabernacle. We need each one of you, our officers, to lead in the same way, to be our president and our clergy's sacred assistants, to fix and repair as needed, to help hold the doors of our gates open to welcome people in, and to secure the gates of our synagogue closed to keep us safe from hatred and violence. And finally, there may still be some schlepping involved. I'm not sure what, but I'm sure it will happen. So we thank you for taking on this sacred work, and we give you a round of applause. And finally, Vanessa, I'm going to invite you to please come up. As she comes up, I'm going to start speaking. I've had the great privilege of working with Vanessa, partnering with Vanessa for many, many years now, through your leadership on the Open Tent, to your leadership on the board. I know your capacity, your creativity, your courage, your charisma, and your commitment. And I can say that there is no one who could be better prepared, harder working, and more earnest to succeed. In our Torah portion, the Israelites are instructed, now you know everything about our Torah portion. The Israelites are instructed how they should make camp in the desert. And they're told that each tribe should set themselves up by three things: their flag, which was also known as a standard, their banner, and around the tent of meeting. And our tradition says that these three items are meant to represent a part of each tribe's identity: the self, the family, and the community. Vanessa, as you step into this awesome role for which you have been preparing for so long, you are not alone. You have the love and support of your beautiful family who are here tonight, just as they are here all the time and are each one so involved in the temple through your leadership. And you have the strength of your board of trustees and your entire community. Together, you are all a band of sisters and brothers, all united in this holy task of leading our congregation. You join together in this sacred enterprise in times of joy and in times of difficulty, surprises and challenges, moments of being lost and moments of being found. Our ancestors made their way through the brambles and the wide open spaces of the desert. And ultimately, it was in this space that they bonded in a sacred mission. Vanessa, may you always feel surrounded, supported, and uplifted by your beautiful family and your community of leaders and your clergy on your sacred mission. As you take your place among our generations of leaders, I'm going to call forward our past presidents who are here tonight, who are going to pass you the Torah as you join this illustrious group of leaders. I'm going to invite us all to please rise. As the Torah is passed, I'm going to ask Rabbi Davis to put our community talit upon Vanessa's shoulders so that she can wear it and feel its love and its grace and warm embrace as she takes her place. And as Vanessa holds the Torah, I'm going to invite our clergy partners to come forward so we can all bless them together. with the words of the priestly blessing.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's presence lift you up and may you be filled with a sense of kindness and hope and graciousness.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom, shalom.
May God's presence always be with you, and may that give you strength. And may God bless you with good health, with vigor and patience and humor and friendship and love and peace. And let us all say, Amen. And I'm going to ask the congregation to continue together with this beautiful prayer for installation. So hopefully you got it as you walked in. And Vanessa, you have a part here.
Here? Mm-hmm. I accept this Torah on behalf of our officers. In every generation, we keep our Torah alive by receiving it anew. It was written in Pirkei Avot, the wisdom of our ancestors. Moses received the Torah at Sinai and transmitted it to Joshua, who handed it to the prophets, who transmitted it to those of great assembly, who have transmitted it down, generation after generation. The task is now upon us to keep alive the hopes and deeds and responsibilities, to receive the Torah as if we ourselves stand in Sinai. May these teachings guide our work.
We serve this congregation through the support and trust of our congregation. In the tradition of our people, we ask you, who represent the entire Temple Beth Shalom community, to rise now and tell us your expectations.
Will you be a visible presence within our congregation, following the teachings of Torah, welcome the stranger, love those in need, support the fallen, strengthen the weary?
I will be a visible presence within our congregation, participating in the daily life of Temple Beth Shalom, making myself known to those I do not know, seeking to understand our needs and our gifts, and helping the stranger to find a place within our community.
Will you honor the wisdom of those who have come before you?
I will honor the wisdom and traditions embedded in our history.
Will you work together with our clergy, our staff, and our congregants toward a vision of wholeness, caring, and peace?
I will work with our clergy, our staff, our congregants toward a vision of wholeness, caring, and peace for us and for our community.
Will you keep the light of Torah in the center of our sacred community, thus maintaining our commitment to justice and peace?
I will serve and lead this congregation inspired by the light of the Torah. Its radiance will guide my path and sustain Temple Beth Shalom as a Sukkat Shalom, a home of justice and peace.
Because we believe that you will do just as you have promised, we accept you and welcome you as the elected trustees of the congregation. Mazel tov. You may be seated. We just have a few more moments. We're going to hear from our newly installed Temple President, Vanessa Ressler.
Okay, now it feels real. Shabbat Shalom, everybody there on the camera. Thank you to the brave and mighty group here. And thank you all for joining online to share this Shabbat evening with us. But before we say anything else, we need to acknowledge Miles and Caleb once again. and your amazing, amazing families who contribute so much to our community. Mazel tov on reaching this milestone. We are all so proud of you, and we understand the great commitment you have made in time and energy. Have a blast tomorrow. And stay dry. Okay, so I have to give a couple of the regular announcements and then a few words of my own, so bear with me just a few minutes. A few general announcements. As always, tomorrow you have options. 9:30 a.m. Torah study in person and via Zoom. 10 a.m., I'm told, is the last Tat Shabbat before summer break, so don't miss Mr. Mason if you got the chance. 10:30, Shabbat service here or on Facebook Live, our Watch, or YouTube. And as many of you know, Sunday is Shavuot. We'll have a 9:30 a.m. Torah study again, followed by a 10:30 service and Yizkor service, followed by a 12 p.m. Shavuot dairy luncheon with specialty cheesecake desserts. You don't even need to RSVP, you just come. Though I did ask Rabbi Glickstein the other day, for those of us that can't have dairy, what are we supposed to do? Are we allowed to celebrate? Next year I'm bringing the vegan key lime pie. Okay, so for those of you looking to up your self-defense game, on Monday, June 6th at 6, you can join the tribe in sisterhood in an interactive and hands-on self-defense workshop. And lastly, on the programmatic side, if you still feel like coming out of COVID, you're technologically challenged, I don't know that any of us could be at this point, 2.5 years in, earmark next Wednesday, June 9th at 11 o'clock. Craig Burko is going to be holding another one of his Beth Shalom senior tech support programs, and they've been really great and successful. I encourage you to join him. And I also should mention that next Friday night, should you choose to join us, the 10th, my daughter Orly and I are going to be up here subbing for Cantor Siegel. We're going to do a little mommy-daughter Shabbat, so we hope to see your smiling faces. I've been asked to give a quick plug on the philanthropy side for you all to consider tonight. This, as most of you know, is our 80th anniversary. And our Glickstein Foundation is in the midst of a very important planned giving campaign that we're calling 80 for 80. It is our goal to secure 80 planned gifts this year, and we're 64% of the way there. If you can help us by including TBS in your estate plans and would like to hear about it, you can speak to me or anyone here in leadership. We'll get you to the right folks if we can't answer your questions directly, or check our website. And if you are part of that 64% already that has given a letter of intent, thank you so much for being an integral part of our future. And as always, for other programs and events, you can look at the website, you can check our weekly email blast, Temple Talk, and if you aren't getting those emails, make sure that you let us know, because I know we all need more emails, but these are good ones. Okay, I love the honor of giving these announcements often on Friday nights, but here's the part that I really wanted to say tonight. Stephen, once again, thank you for serving as president of Temple Es Shalom. We are so grateful for your fine stewardship. This ship is stable. Our leadership is growing. Our financial position is strong. You certainly did not have the term that you had always dreamed of in your decades of history here, but you got the one that we needed you for, our COVID president. Not an easy job, but as Rabbi said, you did it honestly, without complaint. That was the first thing that I thought of as well. Without complaint, you have been steady, you have been patient, thoughtful, and measured. Mr. Unflappable, as you have been nicknamed by Marta. Thank you, Marta, for that, and thank you, Stephen. Larry and Myra and Rachel, it is indeed special to be able to share the bima with you tonight as you receive this incredible award for your service. Thank you for your intense dedication to our safety, to our justice work, and really just in general to making us better. And to our newly installed board, go team. You're gonna hear me say that a lot these next 2 years. Those of you on our temple board already understand the significance of our leadership structure here. So as president, I have the privilege of being just one leg of a sturdy three-legged stool. The other two, the senior rabbi and the executive director, are here long-term. I just get 2 years. Rabbi sets the overall vision and tone. Jeff and his excellent staff execute on that vision, and I am here in service to you, representing you. And I assume the role of a strategic thought partner, a goal setter, sometimes a problem solver, the board organizer, head cheerleader, check signer, a smattering of other responsibilities, and most importantly, a developer of future leaders. I'm a temporary steward in the life of this vibrant community, the truth of which I am acutely aware. As a former marketing manager in the tech space, a consultant, and now a manager of a busy household with 3 young girls, I am incredibly excited about these next 2 years, and especially jazzed to continue collaborating with Rabbi Pomerantz and Jeff Graff, both extremely good at what they do and good humans to boot. This is all pretty humbling and really, really cool. Fun fact, did you know that we here at TBS have, now counting Steve, 13 living past presidents? And did you know that every single one of them, okay, within reason, would drop whatever they were doing to be here to support current leadership and take on responsibilities? From what I've gathered from other synagogues across our country and in our own Union for Reform Judaism, aka the URJ, that's not a given. I try not to pat us on the back too much. It's not my style. I'm always endeavoring to raise the bar, in fact. But of that fact, the fact that our leadership continues to engage in a healthy way, I am always very, very proud. And unintentional shameless plug, well, I guess it's intentional now, I hope you join us February 4th for Shalom Fest, where this time we will be celebrating those past presidents and our 80 years of history. In terms of what to expect of leadership, expect a big push to find the new normal and get us all back together again in person. We will celebrate having a complete elementary school offering, grades kindergarten through 5, with a world-class new educator that some of you may have heard of tonight, I don't know, Rachel Unger. In an upcoming article in Huckavot, our newsletter, I plan to get more into detail in our plans for our big return to being in person, and I hope to highlight how our board and our committees are structured to serve our key values: spirituality, education, community, Israel, and of course, repairing our world. But it's already been a long and beautiful night, and you probably want to get to that delicious Michael Meltzer oneg. I know I do. But before you do, I've got something silly. At the end of tonight's service, I hope you will join me in the social hall for a little wrestler family tradition. At Passover, which is clearly not tonight, but nonetheless, we, kicked off by my father-in-law Jeffrey, spend the Pesach meal toasting each other and expressing gratitude with a bottle of Shlivovitz. So I brought a bottle tonight and some tiny cups, along with sparkling cider for those who wish not to partake. And I hope that we can share some sweet words of gratitude for one another and for our temple community and have a modest little l'chaim. And considering the horrible weather outside we have to negotiate later, we definitely need to keep it modest and in check. And to those online, l'chaim. And I encourage you, and maybe the Shlivovitz will help, to share your thoughts with me on how we can continue to elevate the work we do in service to this congregation and grow closer together. To my husband, Gary, and our daughters, Orly, Micah, and Neely, I say thank you for your continued patience and constant support and understanding of Mommy's crazy schedule, which is very unlikely to get lighter anytime soon. I hope my love of this place and dedication instills in you the value of service to our community. But make no mistake that you, no matter how busy I am, are my world. May you all have a beautiful summer. May you be safe. May you find moments of meaningful connection with friends old and new. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. May we go from strength to strength, and together may we be strengthened. Shabbat shalom.
We're going to, Rabbi? We're going to close with the words on the screen in this house. If you're able to join us, please do.
Please rise for this.
In this house,
it all comes together in this house. In this house, it all comes together in this house of God.
In this house beats the heart of the family. In this house is the center of a community. By study and we pray, find meaning in each day. In this house, in this house, in this house. In this house is a spark
come together in this house of God.
In this house we can shelter, we can clothe and feed. In this house there is always help for those in need. A stranger makes a friend, becomes inspired again. In this house, in this house, in this house.
In this house, in this house, it all comes together in this house. In this house, in this house, it all comes together in this house of God.
In this house. Shabbat Shalom.
Mazal, 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 mazal.